I want to encourage you with something. This really helped me, and I think it probably will help you too, maybe. I think it was a couple of days ago, I was writing in my journal and just writing to God, and a few times I wrote help. And I also said, I know that you're helping me, but just kind of pouring out all of this anxiety of things that are happening, both small and large, really, just stressful things, and then some really kind of earth moving realizations. But I just was saying, help, help. 3 times I wrote help. And the day moved along, and I have a little 9-year-old daughter that got stung a couple of weeks ago by a wasp. She got stung on the back of her neck. And then maybe a week later, she got stung again. She wasn't even doing anything. She was just sitting there enjoying the pretty day, eating on the deck, and one zapped her again on the arm. And so she was kind of developing a little bit of a fear of going outside. It's just now getting to be pretty weather. This is the time you want to be out there. We went many years without a yard. We lived on the square. We had no yard. And so we just moved in this house a year ago. I want her to enjoy this yard. We moved here to get her. And she was getting scared, and she'd go outside for a minute, and something would buzz by, and she'd come back in and just, well, I'm scared. I don't want to get stung. Understandably so. So I really don't want her to, miss out on things. I don't want her to, let anything build up in her little mind. I know how that is. I bet you can relate to that. So I told her, hey, come on, let's go ahead and go outside. So we're sitting on the front porch, and I'm just sitting there with her, because that gives you a little vote of confidence, just having someone with you. And she was listening to her iPad. She's doing the Bible in a year. She's 9 years old. She's actually doing 2 Bible apps, Bible in the year. And she's already done about a half of a year. I couldn't believe she stuck with it. She just wanted to do it. But she's sitting there, she's listening to this, man's voice reading the Bible to her, and we're just sitting there silently. And she turns it, she pauses it, and she says, Mom, you know how you say that the best part about like planning something, or going to camp for her, she's so excited about camp, or a trip, is planning it. The excitement of planning it is really the best part. The trip is great, but really the excitement of all that buildup is really kind of the best part. She said, you know how you say that? I said, yeah. She said, you know what? I think the worst part about getting stung is being scared that it's going to happen. She said, because it's really not that bad. And it's not as bad for her because I have something called Medi Body Pack, and you mix that up and slap it on there. It takes the sting right out. So it's not really that bad. And it doesn't have to be that bad. But anyway, that's beside the point. It's really not that bad. The worst part about it is being scared of it and the dread of this thing. And she had no idea how God was speaking through her to me. But it just hit me all at once. Katrina, the things that you're worried about, the things that you're having all this anxiety about, you're acting as though the worst case scenario is playing out right now. And you're ruining this day. You're letting your peace be snatched away from you in dread. And it just hit me that the worst part is happening right now. Even the thing that I'm dreading, it really isn't that bad. Even if it were death, what else can the world do to me? I know where I'm going. I know whose I am. What can man do to me? Worst case scenario is not as bad as living my life in fear and dread and spoiling what I do have right now, because it's a lot. There's a lot to be happy about today. There's a lot to have joy about. There's peace. If you have Jesus, then you have the peace of God, and the whole world doesn't know what that's like. No, they don't. So anyway, I just want to encourage you to not let fear snatch your life away from you. The worst part about whatever it is that you're worried about right now is that anxiety that you're experiencing right now. Let go of it. And so as I was thinking about that, I just repented for holding on to that fear and that anxiety, and just realized, you know what, worst case scenario, it's going to be okay. It's okay. And I just gave it to him, and it turned the whole thing around. My day was just mopey and stupid up until that moment. But God answered my questions, my crying out to him through that little 9-year-old girl. And I just wanted to maybe put this out here and help somebody else too. And I'll read this too. Beloved, this is 1 John 4:1. Beloved, do not believe every spirit, but test the spirits to see whether they are from God. Okay, what are you hearing in your head? What's going through your mind? Really, think about what that voice is and who it is and what they're telling you, because God's not gonna tell you all this stuff that's building fear and anxiety. That makes no sense. Now, he will correct us. He will tell us things that we don't necessarily want to hear, but there will always be peace in it. If you're willing to submit to him, if you're willing to hear it, there will always be peace in it. So don't listen to those voices. Test the spirit. Is this God's voice? That doesn't sound like God to me. Test the spirits. Pray. Ask him. He'll answer you. It's his good pleasure to answer you. So be encouraged.